So everyone, I was talking to Wykkyd, and I watched his last interview, and I kind of decided, you know what? Let's not, instead of just doing the exact same thing, because it's not like you can really miss an interview with somebody because it's on YouTube forever. Let's kind of turn it on its head a little bit and do a different approach. And I thought, you know what? There's a lot of misconceptions about the Darkstar mod. Like I'll hear people say, "Well, I don't want to get Darkstar because why does it need all these patches?" That kind of thing. And and people that are in the know and that have used it, know that that's not the case. But I was like, let's just do a kind of everyman's guide for Darkstar, like from the very beginning, starting in the creation kit, like talking about load order, talking about like how do you start? Because at first I thought, well, I'm gonna get up this morning because I got up real early. I was up at like 6. I'm like, I'm gonna get up this morning and I'm gonna buy all the kiosk things and I'm gonna make sure I'm ready to go. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not the way to go approach this. Maybe what we want to do is, no, I just went into a new universe. I just bought Darkstar. Where the hell do I start? And I talked to Wykkyd about it. He thought that was a great idea. And so that's what we're going to do. So Wykkyd, and then when we were talking, had a really interesting story about his name for Wykkyd Gaming. So let's start with that. Tell us about how you got your name.
Yeah. So I started using the name Wykkyd a little more than 10 years ago in video games. Actually, more than 15 years ago. The origin comes from my fantasy writing and my D&D playing back in the 90s. I knew starting in 1992 that I was going to write fantasy novels set in my fictional world that I was using to host game sessions in Dungeons and Dragons. And one of the characters that was kind of always there was a female warrior, half-elven warrior named Wykkyd. And so when I got into playing MMORPGs, starting at around 2000, I started pulling from my list of characters from my fantasy works and using those names for my characters in my video game playing. And Wykkyd gains the nickname Wykkyd in the novels, or will. So she did in the D&D sessions. So I figured, one day I was rolling a shaman for World of Warcraft and like, let's use Wykkyd. I haven't used Wykkyd yet. And I became very well known under that name on that server. And then got into modding and started modding that, and then Rift, and then Elder Scrolls Online, and just kept carrying the name forward. And now I'm Wykkyd or Wykkyd Gaming everywhere.
Yeah, that's neat. That's a neat little story. Okay, so I went ahead and started trying to get us into the right place by getting what I did was I just got in a creation store, and I like I said, I think that the biggest thing that people say that is kind of weird is like, why do you have to have all these patches? You know, so tell us the story of the patches and how they work.
Well, so patches for Darkstar or anything like Darkstar. So let's take it a step further and roll back and talk about Darkstar manufacturing, which is where the patches started for me in this game. Darkstar manufacturing lets you craft and update and upgrade armor and weapons. The features of that are in Darkstar, but anytime you have a mod that's going to enhance crafting in any regard, players of that mod are going to ask you, hey, can you make this weapon from this other mod work in your crafting mod? And that just started this snowball effect with Darkstar manufacturing, where next thing you knew, there were 20 and 30 patches for Darkstar manufacturing scattered across Nexus and eventually creations. Those are what you call integration patches. The weapon works without the patch. Darkstar manufacturing works without the patch. They don't conflict with each other, even if you run them together without a patch. But the weapon won't be upgradable inside of Darkstar Manufacturing or Darkstar without a patch. The patch makes that weapon upgradable and craftable.
Makes it a Darkstar weapon, kind of.
Yeah. So when you look at Darkstar specifically, I had a testing team that was, there from the beginning, testing all of my pre-releases, making sure everything was good. And I selected my testing team based off of people who were active on my Discord that were patch developers for Darkstar Manufacturing. So that when the testing cycle was done, they had early access and could immediately start making patches for Darkstar. And anyone who was watching Creations the day Darkstar went live on Creations is very familiar with the fact that the moment it went live, the entire Creations homepage was nothing but Darkstar. It was Darkstar and about 16 different patches. I took over the homepage. And that was the case for like half that day. Yeah. You couldn't find anything else on the home screen except Darkstar. That was very intentional and very strategic. I wanted anybody hitting Creations that day to see overwhelming presence from Darkstar.
Yeah.
And it worked. That helped get the word out. That was part of my marketing. Mm-hmm. So that it was kind of a shock and awe campaign kind of thing. Where I was like, you're going to see nothing but Darkstar. And it worked.
Works for me. I was very happy. I downloaded them all.
And we tried to target, those things that we knew people would desperately want integrated the most into Darkstar, so that the secondary effect there was that day one result was you could get Darkstar right away and get the patches for your favorite mods right away and not have to wait and not have to be like, oh, I just upgraded to Darkstar, so now I can't use that weapon I love. So we also try to target that. And now, if anybody that's been on Discord knows full well that we've got a team of, I think, 6 different endorsed patchers, for lack of a better term, that are, I've reviewed their code, their implementation, their approach, their planning, their mental health, if you will. And I'm like, yep, you are doing it the right way. You are keeping balance in mind. You are an official patcher for Darkstar. And we've got a half a dozen of them just cranking it out, and some of them just go ham. They patch everything under the sun. Manic Polymath is insane with it.
Dr. Flowers too.
Oh yeah. Well, like Manic does the cosplay workbench.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited
he does the
about
cosplay workbench based off of Darkstar. And then so he takes all of the Star Wars stuff and patches it into his cosplay workbench in Darkstar. And so he's got like hundreds of patches, I think, at this point. It's ridiculous. But no, it's they're just for integration. There's a couple that 1 or 2 that extend settings, like Cyber Ghost's Darkstar VIP mode. Right. So he took the VIP mode from Darkstar Astrodynamics and Manufacturing and brought them kind of mostly back into play with the Darkstar patch. And then I think that was the only one of those. But there's 3 basic kinds of patches. There's the integration patch, which is the overwhelming majority of these. They're just taking 2 mods that work fine together and saying, hey, let's make them work a little more than fine together. And
so Seeks and Stare. So yeah, we were just talking about that. So the patches are separate because they have to be. You can't Bethesda does not allow Wykkyd to have a paid mod that has any kind of dependency on another mod. So, for example, or like the Delta 12 shotgun, that is a paid mod. He can't have a dependency on another person's paid mod. So they have to be separate. Now,
and it's a little more strategic than that too. It's a logistical problem. So even taking paid mod scenarios out of the equation, there is no realm of realism where I could take Darkstar and have it include integrations for an unknown number of weapons and armor mods that are out there. Because then when you go to download Darkstar, you would have to download 40, 50, 60 other mods to make Darkstar work.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Well, and actually to me, it just makes it totally customizable. Because I don't really use the cosplay workbench, and I don't really, so for me, I mean, I don't need all that extra stuff. I just have Darkstar patches for the things I use, and for me, it's about 12 things.
Yeah.
So.
Now, from the other perspective, there's two main reasons people don't like all of the extra patches from a functional and usability standpoint. It's usually either, hey, you're breaking my achievement friendliness, and I get that. If we could do achievement friendly patches, we would. Trust me, 100% of the mod authors out there that do paid mods, if we could do a free achievement friendly patch between two other paid mods, we would. We're not allowed to. It's just it can't happen. And the second is usually load order protection. That's the beauty of using Darkstar is I took a bunch of things that I could have made 30 or 40 mods, and I made it one big mod.
So, all right. So, I asked. This is where we found out that people couldn't hear you, and we didn't get to answer this question. So, I just bought, like a few weeks ago, the Delta 12 shotgun. So, if I wanted to use the Delta 12 shotgun, what would be the difference if I used Darkstar and I didn't get the patch?
So Delta 12, I personally haven't used outside of it being patched, and so I can't speak 100% to it.
Oh, is there one like the Lumi one? Does that?
Lumi is a good one to use as an example because
I have that too.
The Lumi rifle right out of the gates is what we would consider overpowered.
Okay.
In the base game. It far exceeds the abilities of almost every other rifle available in the base game. So one of the things that Angry Mechanic, who patched it, and I worked on was balancing. So with the Darkstar integration patches, that if it is coming from an endorsed patcher, and that list is on Discord of who those people are, one of the things we target is balance. That's not saying that the Lumi rifle can't be more powerful than other weapons, but it needs to be within reason. So that's one of the things that we do is we dial it in, because when Darkstar adds all of these quality tiers that are not normally available to weapons. So normally your weapons cap out at advanced. Some weapons don't even go that far in the base game. And before anybody asks or says otherwise, if a weapon in the base game doesn't go to advanced, it's because there are no files for it to go to advanced. It's not that there's an advanced file and it's named improperly. That's not the case. There's a common misconception about that. The advanced files for those weapons do not exist. So what Darkstar does is it adds advanced to those weapons. It adds superior to all weapons, and then that continues up to unrivaled and then relic. Well, if you scale a weapon that was already a little overpowered at advanced, and you scale it up to relic, now it's god tier and you would never need to use anything else. So we definitely dial that in and make it a little more reasonable. We add those missing quality tiers. So that's the first thing that patch is going to do, because by default that weapon's going to stop at advanced. So we take it up to relic. We then add a Mark II or a Mark III version. So the Mark II versions is taking a weapon and basically trading it in a special workbench to turn it into a Mark II version, which adds a little bit of base damage to the bottom end. It adds a little bit of speed to the firing rate, and it unlocks the rest of the customizations that Darkstar allows. Let me address that real quick too. In a vanilla game, all of the weapons that drop across the entire game, the quality files that get attached, those quality files, they're object modifier files, and they work the same under the hood as like a scope or the weapon internals or the stock right? Any of those weapons that you can take to a workbench and customize a part of, the quality file is the same as that under the hood. The game doesn't let you customize that for very good reason, because if you have an advanced weapon in the base game, it's actually got the advanced quality file, the refined quality file, the calibrated quality file, all and the base vanilla quality file all attached to it at the same time. That is not how any other system in the whole rest of Starfield equipment works. Weapons are the only ones they did that with. And that means that if I was to go to a vanilla weapon and say, hey, make those all editable at the weapon workbench, now you've got 5 quality files that you can manipulate. That's not functional. So the Mark II weapons, one of the main things I pull off is I flatten all that. I spreadsheeted every quality file across the entire game for every weapon.
Wow.
Several thousand of them. And I took all of those and calculated out what would the value be for the advanced quality file if it combined all of the effects of the refined and calibrated and advanced. So that then the Mark IIs replace those multi-quality files with a singular, and then that allows that to be customizable at the weapon workbench. So you can loot a refined weapon and then upgrade it to advanced or unrivaled or whatever. So that's the first thing that a Mark II does for you. And then if you have a ballistic weapon, once it's Mark II, you can upgrade it to a Mark III. This is, of course, pending that you've done all the research and you have the levels and all of that. You can upgrade it to Mark III, which basically injects energy weapon damage to your ballistic weapon. So your physical only weapon becomes particle beam, which takes all of these weapons that we might love. Like, I personally have a fondness for the Grendel, but once you get to like level 100 plus gameplay, the Grendel is useless.
Yeah.
You get a Mark III Grendel, and now you're talking. Now the Mark III Grendel competes with the Varun Inflictor, and it's now a viable weapon. It may not be the best weapon you can get, but if you're talking about the actual maximum. But it's not, but it's not going to be a waste of time. It's going to be usable in the end game. So
let's take a look at load order, because I think you probably hear more about people having issues that are really load order issues, probably more than anything else that you hear anything about. Would you say that that's correct?
Yes, and it's not always related to Darkstar. So load order conflicts happen to be probably 90% of the problems that the help team on the Darkstar Discord solve. Darkstar is pretty simple. We just tell people put it as close to the bottom of your load order as possible. And the reason is it touches everything. Right? It touches your NPC. Yes, it's an overhaul. It touches the crafting system, the shipbuilding system, ship-based combat, ground-based combat. It's got a lot of game setting overrides, which are all listed in the mod. There's a blue info kiosk in every major city that has a section where you can read about all of the overrides. But it's increasing like your build limit on your ships and things like that. So it's all helpful stuff you would really want. Most players would want. So it's pretty simple from that regard. We just tell everybody, hey, put it as close to the bottom as you can. Put the patches under it. You're good to go.
Right.
And there's a couple mods out there that
what I did here. So
yeah,
folks that are from home, look here and see how low I have it here.
Yeah. There's a couple mods out there that I can't think of off the top of my head that need to be below Darkstar, but it's very few. But because we have thousands of members on that Discord and lots of mod authors, I think we're closing in on 30. I think we actually have 30 verified creators on there now, and almost 60 mod authors in total. So we get a lot of people in the Discord now that aren't necessarily Darkstar users, and they just come because, Bub is there, or because Green Recon is there with the Varun Technical Institute, or they come in because Matilda's there now, and our help team does support for all of them, so they end up doing a lot of conflict resolution on load orders. That load order support channel is probably the most active channel on the Discord.
Yeah, I was having a lot of problems with Cryomancer and Watchtower. I mean, these were two separate times, but and they helped me like right away. If you guys are having problems with load order or things are like crashing for some unknown reason, I highly recommend you join the Darkstar Discord. And just when you go there, I mean, it's like one of those things you shouldn't have to say, but you do have to say. Respect the time of the help team by being prepared to tell them what your load order is. And if they ask for your load order, don't give them the runaround about it. Just just type it out for them so that they can see it. And if you have a screenshot that shows what's going on, don't just say, well, it's broken. Like, be very specific, and that respects the time that these people, because they're not getting paid for this, they're doing it for free out of love of the game. So that's just my little 2 cents. That's just my little 2 cents about that.
Yeah, all of the members of the help team on the Discord are all people that were just regular members, and they were so helpful and constantly going out of their way to help other members that we just asked, hey, would you be willing to be part of the help team and make this like part of your official presence here?
So, well, Seeks and Stare, that's your own deal there, buddy.
Yeah, we don't care about your dark web mods. We don't care.
Funny. Okay, so here, all right. So now we got Discord, we got Darkstar. I'm gonna be the new player that just bought Darkstar. I placed it in my my little thing here. I made sure all of my patches were below it. And you could see actually, where people like, but you have to have like all these patches. Okay, I have 12. And I am a person that runs way over 100 mods. So it really isn't, you don't need to buy all of them, you don't have, or buy all of them. You don't have to buy them. They're free 99, but just the patches are free 99. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, you only need the patches for the things you really want integrated very thoroughly.
Right. I mean, because like really, what's funny, at level 400, I'm not even really that worried about the Space Trucker Tropical patch. I mean, I think I do have it, but I don't need my clothes to be relic. I don't really care. It's fine. It's fine.
No, everything must be relic. It must be yellow. When I look at my inventory, I'm one of those. I am one of those.
Oh, are you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's funny.
If it's not legendary, I can't let it touch my skin.
That's funny. All right. So I didn't buy anything new, so I can just go ahead and go on. So what we're doing is, yes, Darkstar starts at Vectara, believe it or not. So we're gonna show you the Easter eggs.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, while Darkstar is predominantly in game as far as the major features, that is not where where Darkstar was targeted. So the whole goal with Darkstar isn't for you to get it and then speed run to all of the best things.
Not sure what.
So I get a lot of people that come in and they seem to be running under this impression of, hey, I paid for this mod. Where's my big, awesome free weapon? That is not what this mod is. It is designed for you to load it, and it just sits in the background, constantly affecting and upgrading your game as you play. It's designed for level 1 players. It's designed for level 500 players. The level 1 player is not I wouldn't say ideal, but it's more of the just a game overhaul experience at that point, because you'll never notice where Darkstar turns on. It's just always there. And you don't have to do all of the research right away. You can just let it happen as you gain the resources. Like, oh, I looted a weapon with a new legendary on it. I'll use it for a while. Now I'm not going to use it. Instead of selling it, let me rip that legendary off and do the Darkstar research. You can take your time with it and let it build and dig your way through the mod as you approach level 100, where it really starts kicking in that you need all of the gear that Darkstar provides in order to survive the upscaled enemies. But until you get to that point, you can just play, right? You don't have to be like, oh, I've got Darkstar installed, I must Darkstar. No, you must Starfield. Darkstar rewards you for playing Starfield.
Yeah. Well, and it keeps, and I think for me, what I really love about Darkstar is that, you know, like I'm starting a new tune, and yeah, you're like really excited. Ooh, this is calibrated now. And then the next thing, oh wow, I got an advanced weapon. I'm so excited. When you get your, you know, but then that kind of ends around level 50. Everything you have is advanced. You might, you know, yeah, might have a couple superior things, but then when you're level 150, there's nothing new. You know, if you are playing vanilla. If you're playing Darkstar, you're like, yeah, baby, I got a relic. You know, I mean, so it kind of extends the joy of those accomplishments of getting the next tier, which I really appreciate. Yep. Okay, so tell us about our Easter egg on Vectara here.
Yeah. So you can see here on the left side of the screen, that building with the big orange door, that's what you exit with Lynn and Heller when you're starting the game. So that one right there to your left. So you walk out of that, and then you follow them and kind of meander to your right, and you go to the landing pad, talk to Barrett. Well, right here, tucked into this little corner, this crate, or this whatever
crate, that works.
This thing is, storage device. I put a little box in there. That is a quantum rig. It's a free landing pad for anyone that notices it to go and pick it up.
And what's funny about it, we actually had to place it with the console code because I had already picked it up. So we had to put another one there. So it looks much more natural, the original version. Just putting that out there. You didn't leave it half floating in the air. So, okay. All right, let's talk about, so, all right, so now I got my rigs, which is essentially a free landing pad, correct?
Yeah, so the Nexus is the middle tier landing pad. I say that like that's a bad thing. It's not. You can do 100% of everything with a Nexus. It's not as ginormous as and yes, that's an official term, as the Darkstar Omen, which is the largest landing pad that Darkstar provides. But Quantum Rig is an important thing to talk about because that confuses people too.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. So I'm in resources. They're in resources. Here you go.
So a quantum rig is think of it like you built this thing and then you use some special device to shift that thing out of your reality into quantum space, or you're leveraging quantum entanglement, if you will. So it no longer exists in your reality, but now you have this device that will let you pull it back into your reality. So that's kind of the lore-based thing that's going on there. Think of a quantum rig as a weightless device you can use to summon an outpost thing into existence. So the quantum rig workbench lets you summon a workbench into existence. So the plexus lets you summon the plexus landing pad, which is the smallest landing pad, into existence, et cetera, et cetera.
That's okay. So I didn't even know that. So this is the whole quantum rig thing is actually part of the lore of Darkstar.
Yes.
So,
yep.
All right. Let's. Oh my gosh. Ah, my staff goes after me the second they see me. All right, we're gonna go to Parima because it seems like that's where there's a lot of cool stuff there. Which I will confess my sadness that you took it out of the den. We'll confess it.
Yeah. Well, and I actually liked I liked the workbenches from Darkstar Manufacturing being in the basement of the lodge. I was a big fan of that. I liked it a lot. And actually, when I was setting that up, there were a couple different mod authors that were kind of racing to see who could get their stuff into the lodge first. And I got mine out first, so they all had to move.
Funny.
So then, of course, I a year later, I put out Darkstar paid mod, and I'm like, hey, you can have the lodge basement back, because I couldn't do them in the same place.
Yeah.
Because I had to make
'Cause some
sure.
people might still use the old version.
Well, specifically during the transition phase, right? If you had a save that was using astrodynamics and manufacturing, I wanted to make sure you didn't break your save installing Darkstar.
Right.
I couldn't occupy the same 3D space to make that happen, so
Yeah, well, we all
I had to
thank you
move.
for that. We're not breaking our saves. All right. So when you go outside, there's this little Darkstar area here. And there's a slate, which I've already got. Sorry about that, guys. That gives you some of the lore of them visiting this area, correct?
Yeah.
Is it Vex's slate? It's Vex's, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So Vex is a Darkstar agent who was trying to get away from doing the Darkstar integrations galaxy after galaxy, well, reality after reality. They're kind of disillusioned with the whole thing, and then they went to because on their last trip they saw some pretty dramatic atrocities, and it kind of just, they're like, nah, I can't anymore. And then they got here, they saw you, the player, doing your thing, and they're like, I should probably help out. And it's just growing and growing, where they're integrating a little bit more and more, because they realize that the opposing faction, Terminal Dawn, has found your reality. They just haven't fully arrived yet. So.
And we got Darkstar information. Tells you all about it.
Yes, the paid Darkstar mod is achievement friendly. That was actually the original motivation. It was, I had literally over 1,000 people on Discord hounding me constantly. Can you do a paid version of I want an achievement friendly? And I didn't feel like I didn't feel good about just taking what I had, Darkstar Astrodynamics and Manufacturing, and flipping a switch and making them achievement friendly. So I added a bunch of features and tied them together.
Yeah, which, I mean, I love Darkstar. It's great. Oh, I didn't pick up everything in here. Okay, so there's some free quantum harness in here. I think I did get the little there's something here too. One of the little quantum harness things is there. So make sure you get all your free goodies, guys. Walk around and explore these things. Okay, tell us something about your little magic with these. Now I did notice, like mine, when you are in first person, yours also does not pull you out of first person. Oh, so which I think is great. But you went about it a different way. So why don't you tell people about your magic?
So I found my different way before the solution that is now common had been found. So when I published the Darkstar paid mod, I had two challenges to work with. First of all, I, for Darkstar Manufacturing, got constant routine feedback of, hey, were you aware that your workbenches kick you out into third person? Yes, that's been a bug with custom workbenches in Bethesda games since Skyrim.
Yeah.
I know full well. And at the time, I was like, nobody's found a solution for this yet. And then the second was obstructions. Anybody that's placed a workbench on, say, a Hope Tech, inside of a Hope Tech landing bay or ship bay, knows full well that if you don't get them aligned just right along the wall, they'll be obstructed and you can't use them. And there's a couple other ships that have that problem too. And it's literally, it's pixel differences in height on the floor of the hab. That's all it is. Huh. But there's, with every workbench that you go and place, those are furniture objects. And furniture objects have a marker that tells the game, hey, this is where an NPC would stand to enter. This is where a piece, the player character can stand while using it. and it tries to reposition the NPC or the player into that marker position. And if that marker position clips like the lip of a rug or a ripple in the floor, the game can decide, no, this is obstructed. I can't possibly place the player or the NPC there, and therefore it's not usable. I have to stop them from entering the workbench. That's where that's coming from. It's not the mod author's fault. It's just the game mechanics. Well, that got exacerbated when I was working on the original floating landing pads for Darkstar, because I wanted the workbenches pre-attached. And the testers would go and they'd place one, and all of the workbenches would work fine. I'd go and place one and all the workbenches would work fine. And then one of the testers would go and put it down next to the water in Paradiso, and half the workbenches wouldn't work. And I'm like, oh my God. So I needed to come up with a way to script your entry into the workbench so fast that the game didn't get a chance to calculate collisions, so that I could bypass that collision detection and the obstructed workbench scenario. And I got the scripting to a point where you could, on your landing pad, put obstructions intentionally in front of touching the workbench, and you could still use them. So that was cool. Okay, big win. And then I was like, wait, if I'm scripting your entry to the workbench, that means I have a script that knows that you're walking into the workbench to use it, and I therefore know when you're exiting. So what if I put a gameplay setting that says force first person when I leave a workbench? So I did. Now, one caveat to that for those that aren't aware, mods cannot detect whether you are in first or third person.
Right.
We have no way to know. It's not available on the scripting side. It's not available on the non-scripting side. We can't tell.
Well, and you wouldn't want us to add that script, because it's the more scripts you have running in the background, isn't that tougher on the Xbox? Like,
no,
to have more
it depends on the type of script. The script in general, no, not a problem. But too many scripts that are large and doing too much inefficiently, yes, that would be a problem. If you knew the number of scripts that were running on Darkstar,
yeah,
you would think it wouldn't work on Xbox, but it runs like a dream on Xbox.
All right, let's take a look at this industrial workbench, because this thing baffled me at first. I'm trying to think back to when I first got Darkstar. So this is actually more than one thing, first of all, right? You have where you can actually craft legendaries on it. What is this? Holy shit, this is like every single thing. Okay, it's even more than I thought it was. It has an industrial workbench. Got research, legendary craft.
Real quick to answer a question from chat.
Oh, okay.
Red Dog AI overhaul, you will not need. Darkstar does it better.
Yeah, it's already disintegrated.
Yeah, I've heard that discussed on Discord at length from people that ran both. I've never run Red Dog, but Darkstar does do AI overhaul for combat and ship combat. And if you turn Darkstar all the way up to punish me, you may regret turning it up, because the AI overhaul is that thorough.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. let me tell you something. Especially if you add Bedlam to that. The freaking bad guys, I'm level 400, so y'all probably see this every day. They will flank you. They will jump out of the way, including the animals. Like when you try to throw Xeno things at them, they will jump out of the way. They will try to preserve their self, which is, usually they just stand there like dummies and let you kill them. So
Starfield Eclipse did a review of Darkstar where he was cursing me out on Discord after filming it, because he was slow crawling his way through a point of interest on punish me setting, and he was only like level 80 or so, or level 90, so the enemies weren't hyper intense, but they were definitely upgraded.
Yeah.
And he's crouched at a wall and he's shooting, ducking out and taking pop shots at these guys, trying not to get one shot because he was already at the point where if he got hit in the head, it was over. And then all of a sudden he realized that his field of targets had grown smaller. He was no longer shooting at a room full of 5 guys. 2 guys were ducking out of cover and taking shots at him. The other 3 weren't there anymore. And he looked to his right just in time to realize those other 3 targets had exited the facility, gone around, come in a side door, and come back at him from a side hallway.
Yep. I've had that experience. and I mean, now, to really technically answer your question, Real Gunny, it does not conflict. Whichever one you have lower is going to win the argument. But trust me, you want Darkstar to win the argument. But you could, I don't think it's not going to crash your game. I don't think.
No, it won't crash. It's just, if you have, like you said, if you have Red Dog lore, it's going to override the Darkstar AI. Well, to a point, if the
it's not
punish me thing is kicking, if the punish me thing is kicking in, it's force injecting the Darkstar AI onto those NPCs.
Gotcha. So you
would end up with a mix. You would end up with a mix of some NPCs didn't get scaled, so they're still running the Red Dog AI, and then others got scaled, so they're running the Darkstar Punish Me AI.
So it might give you an interesting variety. I mean, who knows?
Maybe.
So you could try.
I personally wouldn't.
Think, but...
I, as the mod author of one of those mods, would not recommend that.
Right.
However, I also will not sit here and say that it can't be done.
Right.
It's at your own risk scenario. Have fun.
Yeah. Okay. So we got resource crafting. So here's another thing. Like these quantum harness things, you can actually make those on here. So all these.
So quantum harnesses, legendary matrices, blank codexes, those can all be found out in the wild. They can be looted at science, military, and other points of interest. There's a random chance they'll drop. Random volume number of them will drop. They are used in crafting pretty much everything in Darkstar to some extent.
Yeah, I get it in boss chests like all the time.
All the time. But if you need more than you've looted, then you can craft them at the resource crafting bench. That's also where you would craft your tools, which are used for Darkstar research. They're vanilla tools. They're not new tools added by Darkstar. So if you're running around and you're being what we call a loot whore, you can feel free to pick up every wrench and hammer and spanner and measuring tape that you see out in the wild, and you can use them for Darkstar research. And then, of course, you can do the weapon particle cores, which are a critical part of the Mark III weapon research.
Okay, so tell us about the codex processing and the activator. So first we do the codex processing, correct?
Yeah, there's a little safe, a black safe. You open that up. You put in weapons or armor that have legendaries attached that you want to pull off. And then you right click or start processing to activate the codex process activator. And then that locks the machine. You'll hear, if you have the sounds still enabled, you'll hear the sounds process, a sound processing thing kick on. And then there will also be message cues at the top right corner of your screen that tell you it's beginning or it's ending. And then basically it runs over top of those things that you've inserted one item at a time, pulls off the legendaries that it detects, and then it spits them into the output boxes. If the output boxes are not available, it will put them in your personal inventory instead.
And what's really nice, I'm going to just gush a little bit at how much I love this. You do not lose the item. If you had a relic gun, you get the relic gun back, and you can actually even use the codex to put the thing back on, but you can still go ahead and get it, all that stuff. So it's nice. So if you have a gun and you're like, I love this gun, but I don't really like the legendary that's on it, you can pull the legendary off another gun and then put what you want on it and totally customize your gun to your playstyle, which is nice because that's one thing McLaren's doesn't do. McLaren's destroys the weapon and or makes you buy it back. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
That's cool.
And then there's other alternatives. Like there was the legendary module recycler does a similar thing to what my codex machine does, but in a different way under the hood. And then the original Darkstar manufacturing, you couldn't pull legendaries off, which was a constant request that I got. Hey, can you add legendary module recycler functionality to manufacturing? And I was always like, no, that's not what I do. No, that's not what I do. But with Darkstar, I wanted to change the way you did your research. I didn't want it to just be a resource grind. I wanted you to go out and play the game and experience the scaled enemies.
Right.
So the best way to do that would be to force you to go out into the wild, clear points of interest, loot things, and bring them back and pull them apart. And that was there you go. That was the motivation. But also, once you've done the research for a legendary, you can then craft that legendary at the legendary crafting bench, and it shows up for sale potentially at the Darkstar Services kiosk. So once you've unlocked the ability to craft, or you've earned the ability to use one of the Darkstar proprietary legendaries, for example, you can just go to one of those kiosks and buy it. You don't have to craft it. You don't have to loot it anywhere.
Okay. You're gonna find, I think Maheo. Go ahead. Make a base.
Do you have the that other mod that Angry wrote that makes it breathable?
Yeah, I have Maheo.
Do a non-breathable world.
Oh.
Something with a nasty atmosphere.
Gross.
Yeah.
Venus or something. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I'm gonna have to bleep my language out. Let's see. Well, let's not go to Mars. Spot I like on Mars. That is. Wow, have I not? Oh, I must have some contraband. Hold on, let's sell the contraband. Funny. Oh, thank you for gifting the subs. You're very nice. Okay. Let's find Finn. Finn, where are you? Am I in here dancing again? Eating the chunks. Okay.
Let's keep it simple.
Who's that guy? Oh, God, I didn't recognize him without his little hood coat on. There he is.
Check, Cap. What's the word?
Let's sell some
Lay it on
contraband,
me.
buddy. I made them all.
By the way, I do like all the Ryujin stuff. That is my favorite faction from the base game.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm glad you like it. So yeah, well, this universe I did, the Ryujin faction, and that's probably all there is. And when I went to go decorate, I kind of noticed there wasn't really a lot of Ryujin stuff in any of the mods that I had. What's really funny. What's funny is I'll have to talk to Betamax. I'm like, do you realize that you have everything but Ryujin stuff? And so then I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna make it. So I made some custom logos and the waterfall. I wanted the waterfall, that's in the lobby. So I made the waterfalls and all that stuff.
Nice.
And then I can't remember who I was talking to. Maybe it was either Thorgan or Old Man, but I was talking about Cat Lady to ask me for some lights, and I was like, I wonder. And we were flipping through. Okay, this is literally the cap end of a pipe, and it had emittance material swaps. there's got to be like 50 material swaps for this item. And I was like, this must be used in like practically everything because of how many different colors and stuff it had. So
Yep.
I just made one of them that great, and one of them, they're both the same item. One's bigger than
Yep.
the other, and that's how I made the light. Isn't that funny?
I do that all the time with Darkstar stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, I recognize it. I recognize that. I'm like, oh, I know what that is.
hmm
The little Aquila City Greebles are like your quantum things. I was like, oh, I
Yep.
know what that is. I've used that.
Yep.
What's really
And then
funny,
like
one of my
I have
fireplaces
some
is that.
I have some things where people are like, wow, where'd you get that? I'm like, dude, that's a carpet.
Isn't that funny?
That
Yeah.
is a carpet with a glow applied to it, or that's a carpet with a metal grate applied to it.
Yep. Isn't it fun to like see, like when I was going through Watchtower, I was like, oh, that's the same grate I used in my fireplaces. I just thought it was funny. It's neat.
Love to
It's
see
neat
it.
to see it. Yeah, it is. Or you might even be like, hey, I like that item. I need to find out what the form ID is for that.
hmm
Okay. I like not even go to
Well,
Sidonia
sometimes you
yet.
go and look at somebody else's mod, and you're like, I want to know how they did that, and you go and look at the 3D object they use, and you're like, really? That's all, really?
Right?
It's that simple?
Yeah, I really liked the Watchtower space station. I really liked the like the ceiling that they did, and I realized that it was just steps that were inverted, but that's all that it was. And I was like, oh gosh, that's so clever. You know? Alright, let me get my... There's a spot that I kind of like.
Yeah, one quick warning to anybody building outposts near Sidonia on Mars is the exterior of Sidonia has a very weird coverage on what it considers the city and what it doesn't. And I noticed when I was running around testing one of the Darkstar features that we're going to show off here, it's like, wait, why did my spacesuit hide? Why did this hide? Why did this happen? And like, oh, I must be too close to Sidonia.
Oh.
Yeah,
I haven't had problem in this spot. This is like right between the two doors, you know, for when you're doing this quest. I found this like perfect spot. It's great when you're, this is like a great spot when you're doing, you know, Hadrian's missions. I guess they're actually Dr. Walker's missions, but I've made bases here a bunch of times. But see, you have that facility, and then you have that one. So you can actually... And you get this pretty sunset right here. You need to get a little bit, almost right in between these two hills. And then you get this pretty... Oh, let's do it right here. Yeah. I don't want to be in the way of myself. I'm trying to...
Yeah, fun fact about this, the whole Mars terrain is that in real life, it's not actually this red.
Huh.
Like NASA has been caught tinting the photos red.
Oh, funny.
Yep, they do it so that because it looks a lot like Nevada in real life. So they tint a lot of the photos shade of red to let the viewer know that, hey, I'm looking at Mars.
It's actually... Alright, so I'm gonna ask the chat, like, what you prefer. Okay, so I could do the Omen and build the entire thing up in the sky, okay? And make, like, a city in the sky and show you basically how to build on the launch pad. Or I can kind of build it in a way that integrates with other items also, so that you can see how you can integrate Darkstar with other mods. So what would you all prefer? I mean, either way, it's fine with me.
One quick thing, maybe flip through and show what they look like without placing them.
Yeah,
the 3 landing pads.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Just so people that haven't used it get an idea.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and all right, that's a good idea.
Because some of the viewers may not have seen a plexus, for example.
Right. Well, we can just show them all too. What they look like. And they're all under the Darkstar hat. Let's see. Darkstar. Okay, let's take a look at. We'll look at these first. All right, so I like it where it kind of want to have the whole effect here. So, I mean, it's not exactly straight. I am that person. I apologize. Okay. All right, so then I like to make it look like it's just. All right, let's do a tour. It's funny how it doesn't look. It kind of the Mars atmosphere kind of changes things. Okay. So give us the tour. Oh, let me put the little marker down because that's kind of a thing. The little transporter.
Sorry, I had to step away briefly and figure out what the dogs were going off about.
Oh, all right. So I put the little teleporter. So we're gonna use the teleporter.
Yeah, and so the teleporter was mostly for the scenarios where, either A, you built way high in the sky and don't want to spend time boost packing up to it constantly, or B, you aren't high enough level or haven't installed the Darkstar boost pack yet, so therefore can't reach it by boosting up.
Right. You can also pull your people up here. You can summon your crew with that button.
Yeah, so you landed on a carpet that has the metal grate applied, as we were talking before. And then, again, with the little octagon shape underneath the navigation console, that's also a carpet or something like that.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, there's the assigned crew teleporter, which that's crew assigned to that outpost. Not crew assigned to your ship.
Okay.
So that'll summon up anybody that's at the outpost. Like if you got Heller at the outpost, but he's like walking the ground or whatever, that'll pull him up to you. Okay. Useful for when you need to interact with people, swap gear out, maybe recruit somebody to your ship or whatever. And then there's a gameplay setting for toggling on and off that also summoning robots.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to leave the security bots and harvest bots or whatever on the ground, you can. Or you can switch the gameplay setting, click this, and bring them all up, which is useful if you want to destroy them in order to destroy your outpost. Because we've all had that.
Oh
you can't destroy the outpost. They're an assigned crew. You're like, oh my God, where are they then?
Let's take a look at, I'm glad you reminded me about the game settings. Go ahead and take a look at those while we're talking about them. All right, Darkstar settings. Okay.
So they're relatively simple. The first one is the challenge rating. I believe it defaults to Darkstar, which is kind of middle of the road, with Darkstar, you will get upgraded combat AI, but it won't try and inject like Mark III weapons into the hands of your enemies because
Which give you boo-boos, by the way.
oh yeah, anybody that's been shot by a Mark III knows the pain. And then there's the just for fun, which doesn't do any of the AI combat scaling or any of the loot injection at all, and it in fact gives you a bonus to your damage to anything above level 100, and it gives you, it penalizes you a little bit on experience gains, but it's literally easy mode as far as Darkstar is concerned. The enhanced spacesuit auto hide, I had to do that. I don't know if we didn't call it out, and I don't know if people were paying attention, but when you were viewing your character in third person on the landing pad, you're standing on Mars, you weren't wearing a spacesuit.
Right.
And the reason is Darkstar landing pads are atmospheric generators. If you are within the confines of your outpost, that outpost location is flagged as a breathable space, as long as you have a Darkstar landing pad present. So in order to facilitate that, I had to kind of change the way the game was calculating breathable space, and that was going to break other spacesuit auto hide mods that were out on the market. So I had to create my own version of that, and it's in a completely different way than everybody else does it. But I had to replace those functions and features people liked from those mods in Darkstar because I did the atmospheric generation. And then the scaling starborn armor, that was my first mod ever for Starfield. Was actually I forget what it was called, but it was only taking the starborn armor that you get through New Game Plus, which the game stops upgrading at NG10. That's when everybody gets access to the Venator armor that the Hunter wears, right? The Hunter armor. After that point, every NG Plus, you get that Hunter armor over and over and over again, and it never changes, never upgrades, never looks different. So I took that 10 NG rotation and I repeat it all the way up to NG 50 and it continuously upgrades the gear all the way to NG 50. I used their upgrading algorithm and just continued it. It's a reducing algorithm, and it keeps reducing all the way to NG 50, where if I keep going any further, you get the same exact stats every NG. Mm-hmm. So that was my first mod ever. It was brought into Darkstar Astrodynamics eventually, and now it's part of Darkstar. The Workbench first person fix is what we discussed earlier. Mm-hmm. That one, if you have that enabled and you use one of the X workbenches, the ones with the little X in the box on the name, mm-hmm. That will force you into first person when you exit those workbenches. And then the summon robots to your crew pads, that's that toggle I was just talking about. And then the codex machine is called lovingly the Loud Machine by Cyber Ghost on Discord.
Yeah, Angry calls it that too.
Yep, he ridicules me for the volume of that, but you can't really change the volume of in-game native sounds, so it is what it is. And I chose a sound that sounded like a machine processing, and it just happened to be one that the game plays at maximum volume. So
I love it.
You can
I think it's very immersive. I love it. So
I do too. But you can disable the sounds here if you want. Mm-hmm. And then the last set is all about the intercom controls. So the ship intercom, one of the things that I found annoying with Darkstar Astrodynamics was that I killed things so fast in space that my crew would be going on and on and on and on about me disabling their enemy shields and destroying their grav drive, and they're not going anywhere. And they would keep that conversation going over my ship intercom for like 15 minutes after the battle. Yeah. Oh
so
my God. So that
turns that off. Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Actually.
So if it says with player, then that's targeted to you. That is a quest, right? That is quest triggered dialogue. Do not turn those off if you don't want to miss things.
Right.
All right. Turn them off if you don't care. Right. But the without player, you never actually need to hear. There's no, other than immersion, arguably, There's no reason to ever have those on.
I wish there was
and
some way
then-
to make it where it was only a certain amount of time that they don't. I wish.
Yeah.
I kind of want the best of both worlds, but
It's-
I'm not sure it's possible. So
It's not. It's a WWise event. So
Yeah,
WWise is what the
right.
game uses for audio triggers. And those events only have one condition for them of should I be on or should I be off?
right. Let's do
Yeah.
that, isn't it?
And then
That'd be nice.
the remote combat is the one outlier. That is, you're flying through the galaxy. You land at a new space cell orbiting a planet, and you see, say, the Freestar Collective fighting the Crimson Fleet.
Mm-hmm.
When they're yelling at each other over their ships' communications, and you can hear it, that is remote combat.
Okay. Oh, this is great.
So you can leave that on, or you can turn that off. Sorry, didn't mean to
Okay.
talk over you.
No, you're fine. Remote with player. Okay. Yeah, it seems like
So
these you wouldn't want to turn off.
I usually turn off local without player and remote without player and remote combat. I leave on local with player and remote with player.
Mhm.
So if you want Wykkyd settings, there you go.
So you basically just leave on. So like you turn this one off and this one off, and you leave the ones that basically involve you. Is that correct?
I only the with player stay on. Everything else I turn off.
Right. So this is the Wykkyd approved version for his gameplay. So if you're interested in that.
And trust me, the peace of mind you get, because you'll still see the subtitles if you have subtitles on.
Oh, okay.
Of like
Okay.
Korra talking in haiku and stuff like that. You still see that, but it's not in your ear when you're trying to focus on something else.
Right. Okay. That was.
Because let's be honest, if you're talking to me, that's not immersion either. Because if I'm flying around on a spaceship, the last thing I want is the kid on the ship using the ship intercom to tell jokes. No.
That's funny.
I mean, seriously, wouldn't you reprimand a kid for doing that?
Like,
Or
all
the
right,
parent?
let's keep it real here.
Yeah.
Funny. Okay. Now we got the tour of the facility. John.
So I'm waiting on the delay.
Oh, are you not watching on Discord anymore?
I can't watch on Discord. You didn't share.
Oh, just tell me to share.
It's fine.
You know that if I restart that I don't remember. You guys have to tell me that all the time. Okay. Sorry about that.
All right, let me watch stream over there. Make sure that is muted over there.
Oh, hold on, I gotta.
Stream volume. I muted it. I'm good.
Okay.
All right,
I'm
so
terrible about that, guys. I restart and I forget to re-share the stream all the time. Okay. The research lab.
yeah, it's standard research. But so real quick, any of these workbenches that have the X on them, which is most of them, those are not usable by NPCs. Those are isolated to you. They are not actually real workbenches. They are fake, and they summon a real workbench into existence for you to use. That's how I bypass the collisions.
And so that makes it where they can't be interfered with, or like
yeah,
they can't be.
So,
it'll
fun
never have
fact,
that thing where it says it won't work.
the game update that happened that made the game perform better actually made that not always succeed because it runs too fast now. But it's still better than before. So to that end, there are a couple extra research benches outside of this dedicated crafting space that are the O version of the research benches, and those are usable by the NPCs because they love to do research for whatever reason. So the goal for this lower deck, though, was to give you all of the crafting you needed for anything Darkstar or non-Darkstar. So we have the apparel crafting and an apparel enhancement. the armor crafting and armor enhancement, weapon crafting, weapon enhancement, weapon vial crafting, the ammo crafting. Each of them have a different purpose in Darkstar.
So this is cool. So this is neat. I love this. So if you do a quest, I mean, do you actually have to do the quest, or is it just a matter of the research? But like, I've done this quest in the past, so now I can make all these clothes.
So I did not quest lock them. The only one that is quest locked is the SY920. And that's because that will break your game if you have access to that apparel or the spacesuits for SY920 before you get there as part of the Crimson Fleet quest.
Okay, but so once you do the research, then you can make like all the clothes.
Apparel crafting, I believe, only requires, I think it's Spacesuit Engineering 1 or something like that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Or apparel might actually be completely free from the start. I think it is. Because it's in these cases, it's just dress up, right?
Yeah.
The apparel enhancement is where you get into more fancy things.
So I really like, yeah, because there's this particular thing. Do you ever try to like go get an outfit and like it has every outfit except that one that you want? So you can actually just make your stuff now if you want it.
I'll give you the worst case scenario. If you're trying to role play and be legitimate about it, and you know, so you're like, oh, I'm going to be a UC Vanguard. I want to protect the people. I want to be a good guy. Guess what? In the vanilla game with no mods, the only way to dress like a UC Vanguard captain, which is what they all call you, you can only get that outfit by attacking boarding attacking and boarding a UC Vanguard Raptor. If you find one in orbit of a planet, usually a moon works best, and you can board that ship, kill the captain, and hope he drops the outfit. It's like a 1 out of 3 chance that he's going to drop it.
Yeah, that's terrible, right?
Right? You've got to assassinate other Vanguard in order to get the ability to dress like you're part of the Vanguard.
Yeah.
What?
I have a mod that if you join them, that it automatically, I guess it's the captain. It might be, it's either the captain's bundle or Ogre's AOI. I can't remember which one, but one of them, whatever you join, it gives you, the thing. But yeah, if
doesn't that
vanilla,
make sense?
no, you don't get it. So that's silly.
So yeah, that was actually one of the frustrating things for me very early on, before a lot of those other mods existed. And so when I did the original Darkstar manufacturing, right out of the gates, you could craft all of the base game apparel, even stuff you couldn't normally get access to, like Mosaka's outfit.
Yeah, which I'm wearing, which is
oh my
so
God.
cool.
Being able to craft Imogene Salzo's outfit rather than murdering her.
Yeah.
Like, I always felt bad. It's like, I play a female character predominantly, so I was like, and I like her outfit best out of the vanilla game. Mm-hmm. So like, well, sorry, Imogen, I know you're not actually the problem here for Ryujin, but you gotta die because I need your dress.
I know. I mean, in Skyrim, it was very dangerous for you if I liked your outfit. So I'm glad that you fixed that.
Oh yeah.
As you can see, I did not sell anything after doing the first Cryomancer thing last night. I got sleepy, like, just all of a sudden last night. Like,
yeah.
Where is this?
So similar to weapon enhancement with apparel and armor enhancement, it unlocks the ability to, once you enhance the thing, it becomes Mark II. They gain a little bit in stats, and they unlock the ability to customize the quality. Now, for apparel, that's immeasurably badass because apparel has no quality ratings and really doesn't have much in the way of stats in the vanilla game. But once you make a Mark II apparel piece, now you're part of the rich and famous, right? Now you're elite.
Where is this hat?
And once it's Mark II, you can apply legendaries. So yes, you can have apparel clothing, right? A hat, a mask, set of sunglasses, maybe a cloak if you've got a mod that gives you a separate one. If they're all patched into Darkstar, I've seen people with like running the Zone 79 patches where they got like 7 apparel items that are all legendary, triple legendary,
Yeah.
all relic, and then they're wearing like 4 or a 3-piece spacesuit, all legendary, all
Yep.
relic. And they're like, oh, look at my damage resistance score. I'm like, there's a soft cap on that, right?
What is the soft
Anything
cap on it?
875.
So how many pieces can you actually, like, I mean, how many should you even bother trying to?
It's all fluff stats beyond 875. There's a it's a, what do they call it? Diminishing returns above that number, where you don't really get much more protection beyond that point. What I've seen is that if I'm wearing 1800, adding any more gives me no noticeable benefit at all.
Uh-huh.
As far as legendaries, I will say this: there are people that will run the Zone 79 stuff, and they will complain about lag caused by Darkstar, or they will complain about lag caused by Zone. Now, I will say that Zone 79's mods, with no other mods installed, have a history of causing lag for people. However, the problem is which legendaries you're installing on how many pieces. Because a lot of legendaries apply a perk to you behind the scenes, and that perk carries a bunch of calculations and stats, and the lag comes from when you are opening your inventory or trying to view your character's stat sheet or anything similar to that. The game will lag out trying to calculate everything you've got equipped.
Oh, no,
That gets worse when you go to Enhance, which is where people get crashes with Zone 79 stuff. Because on in that scenario, when you go to Enhance, it's actually unequipping all of your equipment to allow you to then customize your character. So, yeah. If it's got to do that and you've got a lot of stuff equipped that has extra stats on it, you've got problems. The other one I've seen is people will go and apply, say, Acrobat to more than one piece of equipment, and then they'll claim that there's a bug in Darkstar that they no longer take fall damage. Like, well, you don't take fall damage because you told the game you didn't want to ever take fall damage.
That's right. Well, yeah, because 50 plus 50 is 100.
There's no cap on Acrobat other than hitting 100 because it can't get better than that. So,
right.
like, the game will let you put as many as you want. And the same thing with there's the Ryujin equipment lining for the operative suit, the 25% harder to detect. That stacks infinitely also.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if that hits 100%, if that hits 100%, you have problems talking to quest NPCs because they can't find you.
Oh, before we go, I will show you guys a quick little trick about decorating on here, because you can add things. I'm not going to add my ship because I'm going to get rid of this, but I'll show you real quick. You can, I mean, assuming you don't have some kind of monster, cube ship. Okay, if you have a monster cube ship, don't do this, I guess. But you can. I figured out that something Wykkyd, is that his name?
Yes.
Okay, something Wykkyd. He has actually a all right, so I need to go to structures. So he actually has, this is the secret of building on any of these actually. So not just Darkstar, but building on anyone else's ad, including the vanilla one. Works on the vanilla one. hold on. I need the half-half. Okay, so the half-half, it works because it has no foundation. Okay, so you can actually you don't even have to keep it on here. You just use it to put it on. And I actually made another video that tells you how to do this. But you can, and what I like to do is use the lines to kind of straighten it out. And then, so if I want to put one of Wykkyd's abs here, so I put this here, and then I just go to Darkstar. I love the color scheme you chose, by the way. I think it's so nice. And then you can actually, let's do this side. You can place that there, and then you have like your own little base, like right on your ad. And once you have one thing, you're good. You don't need to keep that anymore. So then you can just put an airlock there. And oh my gosh, how much do I love these little steps that you added. These are great. I love it. So there you go. And so you have your own little, if you want to make a little base, and you know, not like a big base, just enough to maybe do like a small, there you go. So I would love a really good time to play the game. Okay. So there you go. How about that? So you can build on these. Just get, and you only need that something Wykkyd project 2, I think is what it is. Like the base one. Oh.
Yeah, on Discord he is lovingly referred to as the other Wykkyd.
The other Wykkyd, yeah.
Yep.
So, or you know what, Wykkyd, you could just add a half-half with no foundation, and then I would. You could do that. I don't know. I don't know what, you know. I am someone who doesn't know what I am asking, so that could be a hard thing to do. Or time-consuming thing. I don't think you would think it was hard. Okay. We're gonna look at the other ones. So we got, okay, so this one does not have the resource storage to it, correct?
Yeah, so the Plexus is the smallest landing pad. It's small, medium ships only. And it's really just meant for quick little onesie-twosie outposts where you just want to be able to pit stop and go. Or people that just love very small spaces, small ships, small spaces.
Right.
It is the foundation of it is actually the same that is used in the cargo links.
Oh.
So if you like the square structure, I used the same thing and just took like the that platform off the side and the generator off the side, and you know, turned that into the cargo link. So
this is the one that I probably use the most.
The Plexus.
Yeah, I just like it. Oh,
yeah.
Wait. Nope. The Nexus is the one that I use them.
Yeah, that one. So this one's very reminiscent of the landing pads that I did in Darkstar Astrodynamics.
Well, and that's why I like it so much. Oh, it disappeared. It's hard for, I like the level. I like to be able to see the level just right. Okay, so E. This is where I like it. I love the little lava looking stuff on the bottom. I absolutely love it. So cool. And see?
Reskinned column caps.
Really?
It's the same thing you use for your lights, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. But
Yep.
you had to add that material, right? Because I don't think I've seen that one.
No, that's called lava liquid mesh is what it's called.
What?
It's in the standard materials under liquid effects.
Cool. Well, we might see that somewhere. Might have to make a lava lamp. That'd be kind of fun.
Well, yeah, and the big the generators there that have the little slots in them and stuff, those are actually sourced from an air handler on top of a roof in New Atlantis.
That's so cool. I love stuff like that. All right, best thing. This is why I love your landing pads. Tell me about the storage.
Well, I mean, they're standard storage that hold 100,000.
I know,
So
but it's awesome.
why didn't you go infinite? Because infinite storage is
down.
not calculated properly, successfully by like transfers. So if you have a bunch of storage chests, or you have the gathering resource gathering nodes and stuff like that, they will not properly calculate when there's space to put things in the container if the container is infinite.
Gotcha.
So in other words, game bug. So I went 100,000 because
I think
infinite
that's probably
wasn't
enough.
viable.
I mean, let's face it. I think that's probably enough. Yeah.
Honestly, in your average everyday gameplay, you'd be hard pressed to fill up 100,000.
Yeah. Okay. And one of the other things I like, so what I'll do, if I'm starting a new game, and I'm trying to pretend that I'm, starting a new game kind of thing, I would just set up my things right here and just line them all up. You know what I'm already thinking? I'm already thinking that my first patch might be to make a Darkstar looking. I don't know if you've looked at that Outpost Trade Authority pad. That did you play Skyrim, Wykkyd?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know you played ESO, but I wasn't sure if you played Skyrim.
Yep.
You know how they have that steward mechanic?
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
hire a steward,
Yep.
they sell your stuff for you, and then you just get a paycheck from them when you visit, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that Outpost, that it actually came out the same week as mine, but that Outpost Trade Authority pad kind of works like that. You can set up your base, link everything to it, and then it'll just sell stuff. But I would love it if it just looked like a Darkstar pad.
Yeah.
So it could match. I want all the things to be black and red.
I'm working on the Darkstar update. There are things that I'm working on that I can't talk about yet because they might not succeed. One of the things that I'm looking to do is potentially, this is one that I will say if I can get it to work, I'm potentially going to be building new versions of a couple of the landing pads and the cargo links that will snap together in the sky.
Oh, wow. That's going to be really neat.
So
I'm really excited about that.
I want it, so I will find a way to make it happen eventually. But I'm hoping it can be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's neat. All right. Let's see. All right, now let's get on with the fun here. Get on with... That would be cool. Any other... I mean, people love to get, sneak peeks. If there's anything you want to show...
Well,
I mean, you can even show us on the Discord, and I'll move that over here. Anything you want to show? Can't yet?
I can't yet. No. No.
Watching a lamp fall out of the sky is so funny.
The big things, obviously, the critical things I'm working on are like I'm redoing the scaling scripts as far as like the Darkstar and Punish Me that inject the whole, they're supposed to give the NPCs new gear and their AI upgrades. So I'm redoing those to A, be more efficient, and B, be more successful. Because there are scenarios where in some playthroughs you might not get the scaling and not notice. So I'm
Okay.
I'm working on that. That's a known issue. There's also a new way to do the workbenches now, which you alluded to. So I'll be integrating that into Darkstar in that new way. Now, everything I'm doing for landing pads and workbenches, the ones that are currently in Darkstar will remain present unchanged in Darkstar. What I will be doing is all of the workbenches will technically get brand new versions. All of the landing pads also, even though they might not look different. The goal is, if you build new, you will get the new version of the Omen, for example.
Hmm.
But if you have one already at an outpost, it will be the old version that you can no longer build a new version of. So I don't know if that makes sense. So, like, say, Omen version A is what you can build today.
Uh-huh.
I'll be putting in a version B. Version A will still be in the game files,
Oh, okay.
unchanged. You just won't be able to build version A. So the recipe that shows up in your Outpost build menu will only build version B from that point on.
Oh.
So you
So
won't
if
be
you
able to
want,
build a new version A, but version A at an existing Outpost won't break.
gotcha. So once again, you're trying to make for that transition. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
we appreciate that. Okay. All right. Do I not clipping? I'm making sure.
I'd say push it as high in the sky as you can.
Oh.
Oh, you already clicked. I was thinking show the height
Oh.
that
No, I
this
can do it.
can be.
That's fine. That's fine. Cool. I don't think I've ever built this version of it. I don't think I might not have realized there was that 3 versions.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Look at that.
There you
Isn't
go.
that absurd? Isn't that absurd?
I don't, with the, the Milky Way, like, mod I have, it, like, makes it better somehow.
Look off the side towards the POIs that are nearby, because you built near POIs, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. You can see them all.
So the fun thing is, depending on how close the POI is, you could stand at the POI, look up in the sky, and see this hovering in the sky above it. And so I didn't have a name for the
Oh,
Omen.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I didn't have a name for it yet. I was trying to think of a name, and I was on Discord in live video showing it off during the development of the mod, and our resident old man, who goes under the name Old Man, was there. We all love the guy. He's awesome.
He's here now.
And so he was there, and he goes, "Man, that looks ominous." And I was like, "Omen! It can be the Omen."
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do my trick and show off how much you can build up here, because I usually just put everything.
You should sleep till daytime, because that pad is like blackout view.
Okay. Oh, there's so much room to build up here. It's cray. Just wait. Just wait. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and bring my ship here so that you can see what we're talking about. And because I showed off the pads already, so yeah, there we go. Let's bring my ship. Oh, let's talk about this because there can be user error here. So one of the things, tell us about this little board here and how important it is to press buttons.
Yeah, so I wanted a unique to me way that felt like it would exist, right? Some big switchboard that you could come and there's other ways I could have done it, but this just happened to be the way I liked it at the time. the goal was for you to be able to turn on and off different ship vendors and their parts.
Yeah.
So, you know, Sweet Pea just clicked everything,
Well,
but you could also turn everything off. And like, let's say leave Hope Tech on and nobody else. Turn everybody else off.
Okay.
So now if well, you don't even have to permanently modify the ship. It's just more about bringing in a
I'm just gonna show. I just want to be able to see the parts. Have somewhere to put them.
So if you go to the HABs section, is the quickest to recognize. Now, ignoring the mods that you have,
right?
The only HABs that should show up from the vanilla game are Hope Tech. And it'll be like all of the exclusive Hope Techs and stuff too, but you won't see, as you scroll through here, you won't see Stroud. You won't see Tayo.
Yep.
Right? So because you didn't turn those on.
So it just makes it a lot smaller, so you don't have so much to scroll through.
Right. It's fun. It's a fun trick for challenge builds. Because there are a lot of people that do that, especially for competitions on Discord servers or whatnot.
Yeah.
You could come here and say, you know, hey, we're doing a challenge build that can be Darkstar, Matilda, and Hope Tech only. And so Matilda is automatically going to be on. You could turn on Darkstar and Hope Tech, and then be sure at that point that you don't accidentally use a Stroud or Tayo or whatever.
Yeah. But then, then if you build, you know, go ahead and add this, then you got like all your pieces. All your favorites. All the favorites are there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, because I also allow you to turn off Darkstar. Mm-hmm. So if you turn off Darkstar, the Darkstar parts don't show up. Because, you know, you're using the Darkstar mod, but that doesn't mean you necessarily want Darkstar parts on your ship that day.
Well, maybe
the other thing to point out, something else that I didn't mention when you were showing off the Plexus, and this is true for the Plexus, Nexus, and the Omen. If you look at the top deck again, those areas there with the computers, those are actually crew stations.
Oh, no kidding! That's fantastic. I don't think I realized that.
You have, I think it's 6 crew stations built into every flight, every landing pad that Darkstar provides. And they generate power. And they provide atmosphere. And everything except for the Plexus also provides storage.
Great.
And all your crafting needs. They are
all in one.
Outpost in a box.
Yeah. That's great.
And they allow you to exceed the crew minimum or maximums, by the way. Because you can still build crew stations.
Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how much space, building space, is still left. That is a 40-foot ship. So you got all this side. So you literally can make yourself a city, you know, in the air. So because people have asked me, how do you build that stuff up in the air? So,
Siegson, yes, there is still vertical room. I raised the vertical build height limitation to almost orbit levels. So you can go pretty high off the top of this deck, even though she pushed it to the max height, because the flight landing pads themselves don't go to the max height limitation that I set for the landing pads, or for the outpost. So yeah, build height limitations was one of the things I increased. It's one of the game setting overrides that I do.
I can't believe that I didn't know that these added crew station. I I mean, it's funny
Yep.
what you learn. I have learned more about mods that I've had for months, and just didn't realize that. That's really.
If you want to show off a Darkstar Outpost tab, do the
I was gonna do
it's
big one.
well, yeah, it's the big giant double story hexagon. That was completely built by me.
Oh, let's put a freaking.
That's a single story. Build the double story.
Oh, hold on.
You gotta have the large hex double. There you go.
Okay. Wow. So you totally built this? Pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this.
No, it is based on base game assets, of course, and there were already some pre-provided things, but the entire interior had to be constructed by hand.
Oh, I like the floor. Check out windows and stuff. Nice. I like these. Oh, they changed.
Yeah. But I like the first click
Ooh.
version.
Ooh, I like this one. I like that a lot.
Now, if you attach to another one of the hex buildings, you can actually do a double door, like a two single doors on the same wall. So if you wanted to show off another quick thing,
Okay.
yeah, just attach one of those
Let me see which way I
anywhere.
want to do it. Hold on.
Well, when I build an outpost, this is my anchor building. This is the one I use as my center for my whole build because it's got, the stairs. So
Yeah.
I don't have to try and build one of those tiny little corner stair things, that I don't like. I can use this. And then I have more room than I ever know how to decorate.
Yeah.
I am not an interior designer, so.
Oh, it fits. Hold on, it fits. Ooh, that's pretty cool. All right, let's check this out. We can cycle these doors.
Hex large. Well, yeah. I mean, you can do the double. It's probably best to do it outside. Yeah.
Oh, it works fine. Oh, that's kind of neat. That's really neat. You have one. Nice. I love all the choices.
So you get the giant opening and change the door. Oh, sorry. I was watching the wrong video stream. Did you already do it?
Yeah, I already changed them. That's neat. I like
the
two different.
Yeah, I like the side by side and I like the giant opening. Now, to point this out before people complain, there is a known issue with nav mesh for NPCs not always succeeding when you have larger doors between your outpost tabs. That is a vanilla bug. I tried to fix it. Many other mod authors have tried to fix it. It is not always fixable. So if you experience that bug, lay a carpet over top of the seam between the tabs in the doorway, and the NPCs can path over the carpet.
Okay.
Even that doesn't always succeed, but it's better than not trying.
Oh, I didn't have any problems with your stuff.
Well, I tried to be really thorough with my nav mesh. So, and that's the other thing that you may have noticed, and people on your stream may have noticed, is this landing pad, while gigantic, your companion walks around on it just fine. This is a very
She just went in and there's like nothing there. Hold on.
this is a very complex nav mesh for me to build. So
okay. So I wanted to show how like it works with other mods too, because I know a lot of us have lots of mods. Lots of.
yeah.
So I'm gonna use yours as kind of the start. Like, oh, actually. Okay, and then show. Oh, one thing I really wanted to show, because hold on, first, cool. Okay, so one thing I really like about your stuff is that you actually kind of put color crazy, but trust me. All right, now watch this. I like the floors in Betamax's things. They're so white, and there's no lines, and I find it difficult to line things up. But I've discovered that what I'll do is I'll use Wykkyd's. Watch this. Okay, Darkstar. Do. It's kind of hard to do in the air. There it is. And you can actually make this like thing where you can like, you have like an observation deck. Hold on. And make wild shit, guys. Make absolute wild stuff.
Those curved hallways that Betamax added, those are from the eye, right?
Yep. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Yeah. There you go.
I was saying sometimes when you combine mods like this, it can feel like, oh, these guys must have coordinated, and you
Right.
know.
Right.
Like, no, I had never talked to Beta until after he and I both published our mods.
I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is. That's funny. I'm like, where'd it go?
So, Grimstalker, just to point out, the Darkstar Outpost Habs, I used a trick to give them no foundation, but placeable in the sky. Basically, they have a foundation as far as the game is concerned, but it is a transparent, non-collision volume that kind of goes away once it's placed. So it's able, you can 2-click build them into the sky, or you can hang them off like this, and they won't complain about foundation being too high. And you can walk under them, you can build under them, you can do whatever. But you can also just, click build them up into the air through the floor of the landing pad, get them on top, and all that stuff. So you can build whole sky cities.
Yeah. Oh my Oh, I probably... Hold on. I know. I need to get rid of this. These little hallway things are fiddly. There we go. Okay.
Oh, it did door again.
Just redo it. It's fine.
They don't respect snap points all the way, so they keep
There we
wanting
go.
to connect to things that they shouldn't be snapped to, and
You know, sometimes it's better to just get rid of things and redo it.
yeah.
But yeah, I did want to show, like, don't think that it's not gonna work, you know, or go with it. So yeah, now you can actually...
One of them disconnected the doorway again, but
Oh, did it?
oh yeah.
Funny. Take a look. And, you know, that kind of stuff. Fix. But,
Yeah, I haven't used his mod yet. I'm gonna have to though,
but
because I
yeah,
like that.
I like your floors because it's really easy for me to line up furniture with all the lines. So.
That was a large motivation for me doing them the way I did, because I use the lines on the floor to. I'm OCD, so if I can't get things lined up, I just don't do it.
Yeah.
So I had to have lines on my floors. Had to.
Yes. Well, we thank you. We thank you for that. I'm gonna move this back because I wanted to show off some other thing. I don't know. I think it's easier. No. And I would keep messing with it until all the doors worked. It's just right now I'm not gonna. Okay. But I really like this particular hat. This is like my favorite one actually. Okay. So now I'm gonna show how you can add some of these other pieces up here, because I usually do this. I usually add the local fauna pad, and I usually add the local flora pad. So I make like a freaking city. And you can add, ooh, and it automatically adds little doors to go in, which I think is nice. But can you add your little steps? Is that like a little separate piece? Do you know? I was gonna try those because I like them.
Which little steps?
The little airlock steps. Are those like a separate thing?
No, I don't have those separate yet.
Okay.
I do plan on adding those eventually. I can't say whether or not they'll make the next update, but
Right.
I do have some additional Outpost stuff I want to add, but it's a time thing, and of course with the health issues I've been dealing with, it's been real frustrating for me to not be able to do what I wanted to do.
These, you just click it around until it goes where you want it to go. Let's see. Right, really, these are what I use. Oh. Alright, that'll work. That's where she was trying to go up anyway. Oh, what's really cool is I discovered that you can actually... These little concrete pads that he has, this is like one of those things where you totally think, oh yeah, they got together in a room and they planned this. No. It just, like, it actually goes under the floor and you can't even see it. So you can really work it in to, like, all this. And looks really nice. But yeah, this is how I build with your apps. And like even if a planet doesn't have animals on it, you can still build this, and you can drop Tank Girl's eggs here, or Tank Girl's plants, and just have your own farm, like literally on any planet, because you know this has all the, you know, it has like the air and all that kind of stuff, you know, marked as cool. Oh. And what's kind of nice is if there's not animals, this makes a living space for you. So you have this as a living space. I think it's really nice. And it's all thanks to Darkstar that we can use it that way. Appreciate that. So yeah, so I end up using Tank Girls. I mean, like I said, you'd think that Tank Girl and Betamax and Wykkyd all got together in a room somewhere and planned it. Okay, let's make this where it all works. No, it's just really cool.
Well, yeah, I think the only interaction freaking out again. The only interaction Tank Girl and I had about our mods prior to the releasing this was basically making sure at a high level they weren't going to conflict.
Right.
So we had a couple testers run both, but that was basically it. Like we were both like days away from submitting for review when we had that conversation.
Huh.
So, and we both, you know, submitted at the same time, got reviewed at the same time, and published at the same time. So
there's a few things that I haven't gotten able to work, like here, you know, I haven't tried this in a while. It's easier if the things actually will snap to things. So I don't think I was able to get Tank Girl's like greenhouse to. That's why you would see, you would be like, how come you don't build in the air? And I'm like, well, because then I can't put Tank Girl's, you know, thing on top.
some of that is also going to be based on, so with all this building on the landing pad, it's worth noting that anything that has a generated foundation that is actually substantial and real will typically have problems building in the sky properly.
Yeah.
And depending on the thing that you're building that has a foundation, you may end up hijacking foundations off of the Darkstar landing pad or whatever. Like they're not always going to play nicely. There's a couple mods that or one that added like some defense tower. I think it was from Betamax. And that the tower that CyberGhost tested, it hijacked the foundation off of the Darkstar landing pad and just really went wrong really quickly and ended up breaking his entire landing pad. Well, we've seen that happen in the past. It's not anything specific to Darkstar or that Betamax mod. It's just, you know, it's the way pack-ins treat each other when they overlap.
Here we go.
For those not in the know, a pack-in is a grouping of 3D assets in the creation kit. It's all grouped together in one object called a pack-in, and then you place the pack-in as a player, and it places all of the 3D assets from inside that pack-in simultaneously. Yeah. But those end up having an outpost pack-in pivot marker inside the pack-in, and that pivot marker wants to be the anchor point for the foundation. So if the thing you're placing in, if its pivot marker overlaps what you're placing on top of in a way that wasn't anticipated or collides in any way with the original marker, then it can take over and say, no, I'm the anchor point for your foundation now. And then it just, you know, there's no way we can prevent it. It's just going to happen now and then.
Well, and as you can see, guys, like my ship is 40 at 40. There's still plenty of room. You know, if your ship is 60 something, you could put that off the edge there, and there's plenty of
Well,
room
and
on both
there's
sides.
the other orientations for the ohm, and the ship points the opposite direction, perpendicular.
Oh, okay.
So
So you'd even have
there's
more space.
yeah, lots more building room if you use the other ones. I do like this one a lot. This
Mm.
orientation for people that like to build M-class ships. Darkstar does allow you to do that. Not the M-class parts, but the size of the ship. Darkstar increases the build limit
Oh,
in all cardinal directions, and the ship module count.
oh, sorry about that.
So you can build gigantic ships with Darkstar, and this orientation of landing pad makes it look like your entire ship is on the landing pad, even though it's super long. This will accommodate almost anything you could possibly build.
What is the biggest ship that you've built on an Omen? Do you do
I
verticals?
think I tested the max, which with Darkstar's settings, I think is 220 meters
Holy
or something
cow.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
Jeez.
big. We timed this Omen, me standing on one edge with nothing on top of it, and running to the other edge, just normal base game running, and it was 35 seconds to run across it.
Wow.
It's, in fact, when I built the teleport, Cyber was teasingly asking repeatedly for the next 2 weeks. So when am I getting my edge-to-edge teleport? He wanted a
That's
teleporter
funny.
on one end that would send you to the other because it's too long to run. Air quote.
No, this Shabir, this is actually live. This is which version of the Omen is this? The second one or the third one? I can't remember.
Well, there's the H, the V, and the Ultimate, and I believe this is the H.
Okay, so this isn't even the ultimate one.
No, or the Ultra. Sorry, Ultra.
Ultra.
The Ultra is the one that has the two platforms, the two observation decks, and then one side it has the pre-built hab, and the other side has all the control centers.
Okay.
And then the V is the Ultra without the second deck, and the H is the one you're standing on.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know there were 3 versions of the Omen. I don't know how I missed that.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, look, I made like a little city in the sky here.
Hey, whenever possible, if I can give you options, I will give you options.
Oh, I'm all about that. I'm all about options. So, I guess let's, I want to see
And
what
it
other things
probably
we're...
even says right here. Yeah, you're on the H Ultra.
Oh, okay. H Ultra. I wanted to see if I could get any of, those things to... Guess we got nice towels. You just...
Briar, I will be looking at a way to do that I discovered after the fact with the next update. No promises, though. It may be too tedious to fit into the next update. But I will be investigating that for sure. Because I also would like to be able to attach to it. That was actually the original goal.
Okay, so that one. Looking at all the different things that can be added. So these are vanilla assets too, so if you don't have a lot of extra housing mods, that trick still to put the vanilla assets on. Oh, there we go. We got Miss O's living quarters. Able to get that on there. So if you like things that are already decorated, you could add that. Got that going. Oh, you're wondering about the farm. The farm that's from Betamax's Outpost framework. Yeah. What's funny is, I'll tell you, my outposts are a mix of a lot of different things. I've like I'll use like I really like Tank Girls. I think it's under decoration. It's so big, I think it's a structure, but it's actually not. Okay. Go down. I think this. My cat, I'm having trouble. When my camera went wonky, my cat was like walking across my body to try to sit on my lap. I have like a 15-pound tabby, orange tabby, who loves his mommy very much. Alright, put it here. So what I like to do, I'll put these here, then I'll put some coconut trees on them. Yeah. So somebody asked, I wonder about the farm. Yeah, so I was talking about this. So this is actually Betamax's, and what I really like about it is, you know how the animal husbandry and the farming the greenhouse habs, you can't grow them unless there's actually something there. But Betamax does not give you that limitation, so you can actually use these to put your animals, like your tank girl animals and plants. So
Yeah, we love us some Betamax on Darkstar HQ Discord.
oh yeah, he's made me very happy. happy.
But I won't actually take credit for I don't think anybody on Darkstar HQ would, for getting him his VC or getting him to finally apply, but we definitely put peer pressure.
Yeah, we're like, dude, come on.
Like, why aren't you a VC yet? He's like, I haven't applied. We're like, freaking why not?
Yeah, that'll take 10 seconds. Funny.
Like, oh my god. I'm pretty sure there's a Bethesda employee waiting right now to say yes.
Right. So, yep. So you can just. I just love the whole. So it's funny. It's kind of like Darkstar is almost like a terraforming framework to me. I mean, because you have all the things that you need, with the air and all that kind of stuff, that you can just drop this down and start growing things. Let's see. Alright. So do you guys have any questions? What questions do you have about Darkstar? It's funny because I think every one of my streams at the end I definitely drop into decorating. Like, oh, decorating.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. Or if there's anything else you want to see if it works on the pad or anything you want to see built.
And then for those that are unfamiliar with Darkstar, I mean, obviously I don't want to get into it here because it could be another several hour-long rabbit hole, but there's ship parts that start unlocking it. Some of them are around level 45 and some of them take until level 130.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that.
They require skills and stuff like that, so it's not easy win, free win, kind of cheaty stuff. Once you have access to everything, they can feel overpowered, but keep in mind that your enemies are scaling up too, not currently with ship parts, but at least with their combat AI, which, by the way, improves missile tracking when they fire missiles at you. So that's fun.
Huh. I don't
Um,
think I knew that.
and then
All right,
you
let's
know,
take a look at this. No, I'm glad you reminded me about the shipbuilding because that's a good way to end it. All right, let's see.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we got I'm gonna take off things that I usually replace with Darkstar.
Well,
Everything.
one way I like to show it off is very simple. Hold on. Let me talk about it, and then you
Okay.
can decide if that's what you want to do. One thing I do is when I'm showing off Darkstar shipbuilding, I replace parts with the identical Darkstar part, and
Okay.
the ship comes out looking exactly like it was in vanilla,
Uh-huh.
but it's all Darkstar.
Okay. Well, that's what I
Because
was gonna do. So.
the Darkstar shipbuilding approach is to hide in plain sight.
Right.
Give you
Okay.
your
Let me
New
exit
Game
then.
Plus Starborn capable ships, but have all of your citizens of the galaxy be none the wiser when they look at your ship.
Right, because we don't want him to know we're Darkstar. Okay, hold on.
Yep.
I'll start with the gear, so that'll work.
And you definitely have a lot more mods installed than I run.
Oh, I do. I don't have as many as Cyber Ghost, but I have a lot. Okay. So,
While she's choosing, the M series and X series gear are different. M series is mortal. So that is everything available pre New Game Plus. And the X series starts unlocking with New Game Plus trips.
oh, okay.
You
I
wouldn't know
did not
because
even
you
know that.
started with a very high level character, but if you're new to the game, new to Darkstar, then you're not the front legs were the reverse orientation.
Okay.
So there's the two versions of that claw foot kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the front ones were facing front. Yeah. So that one goes on the back.
Oh. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think I usually do that, but that's okay. That's nice. So if you like
There you go.
it, you don't have to change the ship to make it Darkstar. You can
Yep.
just cat move. All right. Shabir.
Shabir. Um, the story mod, I'm assuming you're referring to the Darkstar Terminal Dawn. That is a few mods ahead of what I'm working on right now. So I'm finishing up the final updates and trying to get Darkstar to feature complete. I have a very defined list of what I personally want to make it feature complete. Once that is at least in a more tenable state, I will then be doing an iconic weapon as a mod and an iconic suit of armor as a mod. And that is all based on whether or not I can pull off the script magic that I'm going to need to pull off to make those functional. What I mean by iconic is they're going to be fully voiced weapon and fully voiced suit of armor that earn experience points as you do, that level up and self-modify as you progress through the game. You won't be able to customize them in this weapon workbench or the suit workbench. And they will limit their upgrades if you don't have normal Darkstar installed. But they will be able to self-advance and grow with you, and they will reappear with you when you go through the Unity.
Okay.
So those are two Go ahead.
Oh, I just no, go ahead and finish that and then tell us about the discrete fuel.
Yeah. So that's the goal there. It's about whether or not I can pull them off. If I hit a point where I'm like, no, this isn't possible, then I'll let the community know and I'll move on. There's also a small story mod that my son really wants to voice, that we kind of came up with as a joke originally, but it's become more serious. And I don't have a name for that yet, except we refer to it by the one character, the main character's name. My son calls him Luke Milkwalker. Um, and all we're all we're willing to say about it publicly is when you encounter him the first time, he will be this teenage boy walking on a planet with three aliens following him, three little alien creatures following him that he milks and tries to sell the milk from.
Aw.
So, and he will be recruiting you to try and help him find a better place to live. So,
that's awesome.
Those three. So if you're paying attention and you know enough about modding and mod development, you'll notice that all three of these are progressively getting harder and harder to implement, especially on top of Darkstar. And the goal is to teach myself the other parts and systems of the creation kit, the more advanced stuff that I can pull off that isn't normal, all to facilitate the development of Darkstar Terminal Dawn. So my goal is to get those three things done. Those should each be relatively quick to develop, especially compared to Terminal Dawn. And in Terminal Dawn, once I start that development cycle, I won't be able to focus on anything else. So those other ones all have to be done and feature complete, bug free. Because I don't have a team of developers. It's just me. So when I do Terminal Dawn, it's probably going to take 6 months to a year to develop.
What I think is kind of amazing is that Darkstar Discord has become a think tank of Starfield DK. I mean, at the first year, we were just trying to figure out the kit. Like, what the heck? You know, like, how does things work? But now we're pushing the envelope, and it's just very exciting. I don't know. Very exciting for me, and I'm sure it's very exciting to see these mods come out. You know.
Well, and you're calling it a think tank is probably the most appropriate thing I've heard somebody refer to DSHQ as, because that's one of the things that and allowing self-promotion are the things that I think are drawing so many mod authors to that Discord, is because we all work together and help each other constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is very common, especially these past few weeks, to see Green Recon, Varun Technical Institute, and Matilda, and Mars Bites, who is, you guys need to know that name. Pay attention to that name. He'll be a VC very soon.
Guy's brilliant.
And then Angry Mechanic and me and a couple other people all in Discord, voice chat, helping each other develop, where 2-3 people are sharing their screens from the creation kit, and then one will ask a question, and everybody will jump over and view their stream and be like, hey, have you tried this? Do this trick. Hey, I'll write you a script real fast to handle that. And then Marv's like, throw me your files. I'll do an animation for you. And it's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's literally like that. Like, we're just sitting there in the chat, and I'll be like, I wonder if we could do this. And then, boom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I made the comment the other day that any mod that at least the active members of the Discord, the active VCs, any mod they've put out over the past few months, almost assuredly has touch from other VCs all over it. Like, we can no longer, as members of Darkstar HQ, we can no longer say that we wrote our mod exclusively by ourselves, which is great. The community assist is awesome. I love it.
Yep. So, all right, tell us about the discrete fuel.
What about it? What do you want to know?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Like, you can add.
Yeah, so so the discrete fuel is many forms. I think you're using tanks on the side that are discrete fuel.
Yeah, because I
Um,
like them. I like those.
the discrete series of fuel and cargo were playing on that whole quantum displacement, quantum entanglement thing. The fuel's somewhere. It's not actually on your ship. You don't care where it is,
It's
right?
like
You just care
spaced
that you have
out.
access to the fuel.
That's
So
cool. That's a neat way to
it's
explain it.
it's like that fuel could be coming from some poor schlub's ship in another reality. You don't know. You have the fuel, you have access to it, doesn't matter where it came from.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that the X was better. Funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and again, that depends on what you want for game balance and what you want for, you know, not everybody runs the X even if they have access to it.
Yeah. Or some people like me just thought, oh, it's second in the list. It must be better.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that. Okay, let's talk about. Oh, I was gonna do the shields. I had to move that so I could put. So let me ask you one thing: is there any way that you could make it where the shields can be put like back here? Like the
I
Darkstar
will probably
shields.
be doing alternative placements for shields in the future.
Okay.
But and probably structurals and stuff like that too. It's hard to know whether or not I'll have time. I'll have the capacity or time to do it as part of a Darkstar update, or if it will maybe perhaps end up in Darkstar Terminal Dawn.
Right.
Terminal Dawn is going to be its own beast, and since I can't do dependencies like we talked about before,
Right.
there's going to be some overstep where some parts are going to have to exist in Terminal Dawn, even though they conceptually probably could have existed in Darkstar.
Mm.
So I've got to gauge that on a part by part basis. But I'm not trying to replace every ship part mod out there, especially in regards to like, you know, better ships, flips and snaps and all of that. There's plenty of mod authors that's their passion and they have more time to do it than I do. So let them do that, you know.
Like
I'd rather
make
see
a
somebody
patch or
do a
whatever.
Yeah, I'd rather see somebody make a patch that says, you know, this piece is now a discrete fuel. Kind of like what I did with the Falkland patch, where I took his walk-in reactor habs
Yeah, which
and
I love.
I made it a flip for the Darkstar reactor. So you can have the Falkland reactor hab that you can walk inside of. There you go,
Yeah, I love it.
and
Hold on.
it's got the Darkstar power.
Did you was that just like a collaboration or was that a patch? I don't remember, I guess.
It was a patch. I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, I know your mod's popular. I want to make sure that this isn't going to offend you if I make this patch. He's like, oh no, please
Oh,
please
that's
make the
awesome.
patch. I was like, well, if you want the patch, I said, if you want the patch done, I'll do it. If you want to host it yourself and claim it for you, I'm down with that or whatever you want. And he goes, no, you're more popular. You should host the patch. I'm like, no, the F I'm not. What? Like, look at your upvote and download rates. They're way higher than mine. What do you mean I'm more popular?
Okay. Up drive. I thank you so much for making the smaller versions. I just find that I have so much more flexibility in creating my ships.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you're so committed to giving us options, choices. I just think that's amazing. I really appreciate, and I know I'm not the only one who appreciates it.
Well, and as somebody that like I personally prefer the tiny little Class A looking ships, little tiny
Uh-huh.
streamlined fighters. So having the small parts makes more sense to me, and I dislike being limited because I wanted small.
Right.
And then when I go large, like there are times where I just want the Xiang Pinch reactor, the big gold orb thing,
Hmm.
the gold, you know what I mean? tetrahedron or whatever
Yeah.
that thing is.
Yeah, I just want the look of it sometimes. But
Oh yeah.
But maybe I don't want the enormous reactor too. Maybe I just want the big. Maybe I just want the big grav drive because I love to see the armillary inside of it. I'm much more likely to do that. Like use the big grav drive. I can get distracted. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, one thing that is definitely coming in the next Darkstar update is all of the reactor models and the grav drive models I'm going to cross-populate.
What does that mean?
So you'll be able to take that, like pull up the the reactors, Darkstar reactor, and go with the large Class C X.
Which one?
Any of the X series Class C is where I would. So the large one up one.
Oh, okay.
And flip that one into that big gold orb looking thing.
Oh, this one?
No. Keep going. That one right there.
Okay.
Place that and then just pull it off to the side, so we talk about it. So, if you duplicate that reactor. And then attach it to itself to the side.
Oh.
Yeah. So now imagine the one on the left is a reactor and the one on the right is a grav drive.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd be neat.
So I'll be doing that. So I'll be taking all of the reactor models and making them also available as grav drives, and all of the grav drive models and then making them also available as reactors.
Oh, neat. Huh. That's a neat idea. Yeah, I like that, because then you can make more of a symmetrical look if you want, instead of a different. That's cool. Very cool.
Again, I'm OCD, so symmetry matters.
Funny.
And Shabir, the reason you don't see a lot of patches for the ship part side of Darkstar and Darkstar Astrodynamics before it, there's a reason you didn't see a lot of patches going in the opposite direction where people are like, I want to add my thing to Darkstar. Let's talk Darkstar weapons. Okay. Just the weapons alone was 38,000 forms.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's 38,000 global forms and weapon files for just the weapons.
All right.
And the whole Darkstar mod, if I'm not mistaken, is 63,000 some odd forms. And more than 2/3 of those is Darkstar parts. Because it's the flips that get you. Right? I've got a lot of weapon options in the first place. And then with those weapon options, they all have every graphic. So you take a particle beam weapon, and I didn't build just one. For every tier and every power level, there are 32 weapons, so that you can flip it 32 times to change the graphic. So then you get the mortal tier, the starborn tier, and each one has 10 power levels. That's 20 versions of the weapon times 32. Oh. And then all of the additional residual forms that make that up. And that's on a per weapon basis. And then amplify that with all the grav drives, all the reactors, all the shields, all the cargo, all the fuel, all the landing gear. Yeah.
I love your cargo. Okay.
With merges, it's very easy to make a ship that'll hold 300,000 cargo and not have it show. Have no visible cargo at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you can actually. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I used to fly a Frontier on stream
Hmm.
that was all Darkstar and had, I think it was 240,000 cargo and something like 9,000 fuel.
Oh, let's get with the.
But it looked exactly like a vanilla Frontier. It was awesome.
Okay, I have a request. I have a
Yeah.
request. I would love to have a shield breaker that does not do a lot of hull damage for use with Watchtower. I've been using Matilda's version of that.
Mhm.
But man, it's tough when you are new and you don't have any money to use his stuff, but for that. But what? Because
So
at the very beginning, wait, I'll show you which one.
I'll be removing all hull damage from EM weapons in the next update. I've
Oh, okay.
already
You've
mentioned that
already
on
done that.
Discord.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, and what's
In
funny is it didn't
addition,
matter until Watchtower came out.
in addition, there's at least one of the EM weapons will be a shield damage EM damage combo weapon. That'll be its goal in life.
Yay.
So it'll
Yay.
be basically an EM particle beam, so to speak. Right? No physical, but it'll be shield and EM.
Yay! Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that's asked for that. Because I love my Darkstar weapons. I really do. The weapons really help with crew count. Like so much,
Yep. Yep.
All right, now talk about, this is like another thing that I know that you get complaints about that I'd love for you to address. And I know the answer why, because why are the Darkstar weapons A and B? Because I know
A is auto and B is burst.
Oh, I mean the classes.
Oh, yeah. So the original Darkstar started weapons at Class A or Class B, and they would escalate until they hit Class C. I'm telling you right now, mod author to average everyday player out there, your weapon classification means nothing.
Right.
And forcing yourself to only install Class C weapons is probably why you thought you needed mod weapons on your ship.
Right.
The most powerful weapons in the base game are Class A Vanguard Obliterators. Nothing competes. They are by far the most powerful weapon in the vanilla Starfield. And they are Class A.
Yeah.
The classification is basically a restriction that says you must have this strong of a reactor to install me and use me. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. So if I took every Class C weapon out there and made it Class A, it actually is helping all the players that don't have Class C piloting.
Right.
Because now they can use these formerly Class C weapons. So when I changed the mod, I needed to be able to stack them up into a tighter list so that I wasn't filling everyone's list with everything under the sun. Because the original Darkstar Astrodynamics list of weapons was insane. I think it was something like 110 or some options when you had everything unlocked. And you were scrolling forever to get past Darkstar weapons if you wanted to use anything else. I was like, you know what? I don't like that. I need to compact this list, and the only way to do that is to make the weapon classification homogeneous. So anything that started at an A just stays A forever. Anything that started as a B stays B forever. And you lost nothing. They did not get weaker just because I turned them off of Class C. They are just as powerful, had the same firing rate and everything. The statistics of the weapons did not change. I just stopped them from requiring a Class C reactor. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a buff, not a nerf. But people react like it's a nerf, and it amazes me that they don't understand how that system works.
Well, and to me, I think it's nice because, yeah, I don't know, it gives you choices too. You're not locked into one specific thing. Like,
Yeah.
basically, the best thing isn't necessarily Class C, so, um, um. I use the Constellation palette. I actually really like it. I don't have to try to find the right colors so much. Okay. So is there any other, like, what, top 10 complaint you get that you would love to address, like, while you have the chance? Like that
No,
that just needs an explanation or understanding?
these days that's not so much what happens. Like at least the stuff that reaches my YouTube comments or Discord, because those are really the only two things I look at. And to be clear, I look at my YouTube comments maybe once a week, and I do not respond to them all. And that's because that is not the place I want support to be occurring.
Right.
99 times out of 100, I'm not the one doing the support. I have a whole team of volunteers that love to do that, to help out. So I'm not going to stress myself doing it when I've got volunteers doing it. Yeah. They just do it on Discord. So that said, there's two things that seem to be the most common. One is players that, for whatever reason, did not read the mod description and or did not read any of the kiosk information and walk in expecting everything handed to them right away. Don't understand why it's not handed to them right away, and they come to complain and demand that there's a bug or that it's broken or that I need to fix it or that I need to make an enhancement to yada yada yada. The same people that will go to a YouTube video that I made that is walking you through how to do something, and in the comments they'll ask, hey, but how do you do this thing? And I'm like, you're literally asking that question in the video that gives you the answer. Why not watch the video?
Is this the kiosk that has all the information?
The blue one downstairs underneath you.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, wrong stream. Yeah. On the other stream, you were standing over top of it.
Right.
But yeah, everything's in there. And anybody that wants to come to Discord, even briefly, there's a PDF that has all of the information from that blue kiosk available for download from anybody on Discord that gets access to the link. And you can just, like, for example, have the PDF on your phone or your tablet while you're gaming and be like, oh, what was that? Oh, there's the answer.
Oh, wait a minute. Right? We almost forgot something really cool. The ships. Where's the ships from? I don't usually, I like
they're under the astrodynamics section.
Oh, okay.
And then scroll down. Darkstar ships.
Yep. Okay, tell me about the ships. Okay.
So the Interceptor is the lower tier, and then the Ravager is the upper tier. Okay. They existed in the previous version, Darkstar Astrodynamics. They just were different names. I had to rename them so that if you had both mods installed, you could tell which ship came from which mod.
Okay.
Right. But the goal there was to give you a ship that you could unlock and earn as you played the game. So the Interceptor is the first one that becomes accessible. I think the first tier is right around level 45. And it has like the lowest. So look at the Interceptor first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And it has the lowest.
I like this one. Cool.
has the lowest quality parts on it as far as Darkstar is concerned. And as you unlock the higher tiers by leveling up, you get better quality parts on the same ship, and it continues to look identical.
Okay.
So, again, it's showcasing the upgradability of the ships, how you can have something that is, it's competitive, but not necessarily the best in the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as you keep questing and leveling, you get and you claim the next version and the next version and the next version all the way up to the Mark V. You eventually get to where you are very powerful compared to your enemies, and the ship has never changed appearance. And it also showcases a few merge techniques for those people that want to learn how to merge. They can get the ship and take it somewhere and pull it apart and look at how the layers are composed and stuff like that. I've actually had a few people that come into Discord and mention specifically that they learned how to do advanced merging by pulling that ship apart.
And this one is great for like quick, because the only thing that you have to add is one little thing right here. You use PDY. You only have to add.
Yeah, if you use PDY.
Yeah, well, a lot of people probably do, so I figure I would point that out.
Yeah. And then the next up is the Ravager. So this Ravager is way more complex from a merge standpoint. This is what we would on our Discord refer to as like S tier merging.
Uh-huh.
A couple people have said, "Oh, masterclass in merging."
Yeah.
So
seriously,
it's not a ship that's easy to put back together if you fully pull it apart. Be ready to roll back your save if you want this ship restored. Now, I'm not saying there aren't people that can do it. There are, but it is not going to be easy for most people. But this one unlocks at a much higher level, and you keep on unlocking higher versions of it by there you go, by going through New Game Plus. So New Game Plus upgrades this ship more than Level does. And other than that, like probably the one failing of this ship is it's too powerful. Meaning you really never need to upgrade anything. Mm-hmm. It's got like the best weapons from Darkstar, and that's more than enough to handle pretty much anything. If you have any piloting skills at all, you'll never need a different ship. Well, the goal here was that, the Starborn Guardian sucks, so claim this in your new universe instead, right, and just fly that.
Yeah, and that's what I do until I have money to get a new ship. All right, cool. Wee Freeman says, "Oh, my only complaint is why are you so awesome?" There you go. Well, that's great. Well, I think, did we cover everything? Oh my goodness. So we have, one thing that I like too is that you add the equipment items. We didn't talk about those. Hold on. That there is actually these little doohickeys. About the scan jammers and all that. You want to talk about that?
I mean, they're relatively simple. I took the base game versions, added some flip variants so you could choose your graphics.
Yeah.
And all of them, especially for the X series, which you have installed, kudos.
Yeah, I like this one.
They all add cargo space. Because why not?
It's funny. I don't think I ever noticed that.
Yeah. Highlight over it and you'll see.
Oh yeah,
it adds shielded cargo and it adds hull.
Induction, scan jammer.
And improved crew capacity.
So
over the normal.
What level? So these kind of level up as your skills level up too, right?
Now, you get access to the M series pretty fast. The X series, of course, requires New Game Plus.
Sure. Oh, well, you have to have like targeting control, like the usual things you have to have for them,
Mhm.
I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty standard for that, unchanged.
Nice.
Now
Yeah, so you get different choices.
the questions when I have had questions about those, the questions that have been asked are more of the do they stack, and why didn't the Crimson Fleet quest recognize? So the quest stage where you are supposed to talk to Jasmine and install the parts on your ship cannot be bypassed by having the parts pre-installed on your ship. Whether they are the vanilla parts or mod added versions of those, they will not get recognized. You have to open a ship and manually install the parts fresh on a ship as part of that quest in order to complete that stage of the quest. There's no way around it. It's just that's how it works.
Can you
As
accomplish
to
that
the
with the Darkstar part, or does it have to be
no,
the? Okay,
nope,
okay, that
nope.
was
Any
my
mod that was
question. See
trying
what
to
would happen.
bypass that would have to edit and override the quest to make the
Gotcha.
quest script check
Yeah,
for the presence of those, and
don't
we
do
can't
that.
read ship parts.
Yeah,
Right, only the base game can read ship parts and get inside the game. So there's no way we could do it.
gotcha.
Um,
Ugh.
and then, and as far as whether or not they stack, the effects do stack for most of them, but there's diminishing returns on a lot of them. Like the scan jammer, it's better if you install. You can install two, but it's better if you do like the upper tier and the lower tier simultaneously, not two of the max ones.
Okay.
And then yes, they do stack at that point. But it's things like that, like the people don't realize, but there's the conduction grid actually does help with your shields and your EM resistance.
Huh.
So it's actually beneficial to have two of those on your ship. You got to take the part off the outside. Now, what I would love to see is if somebody would make a patch, because I would use it, to take all of these flips for like all of the Taio equipment plates and stuff, and do discrete cargo, discrete fuel versions of those flips.
I want a Darkstar Caspian.
VTOL.
Yeah, I love these.
Yeah,
I think they're so
I do
great.
too.
How hard would that be to do? I've never done a Darkstar
I have.
patch, but that's this is kind of the thing I would probably do, something like that.
That would basically be adding the engine graphics as a flip. So, they basically take one of the other engines that's in the game files for Darkstar, any one of them and Class A, a Class B, and a Class C,
right?
The Mortal and the Starborn. So you're going to take 6 identical graphic engines out of the Darkstar files, duplicate their global forms, change the NIFs that they're pointed to, the models that they're pointed to these, and then add those to their respective form lists for the flips to occur.
Right.
And that's basically, so it's tedious, but worthwhile in my opinion. If somebody makes that, I'll run that patch. I'll play it.
Marv, where you at?
Marv's done patching for a while. He's working on his VC portfolio mod.
I know. He needs to work on his own stuff so we can get him.
No, that's fun fact for those that don't know or haven't paid attention is Darkstar patching has a tendency to lead to becoming a verified creator.
Yeah. Well, you have to learn so much about the kit to do it correctly and do it the right way that, it's great. So, all right. So Freeman had one question. So an M and an X version of the scan jammer, or X and a normal?
So there's different scan jammers. So there's the one that just
X and an M. Is that
but the That's not what I was referring to, though. There's
Oh,
the
okay.
scan jammers have like the Mark III and the Mark IV and the Mark II and whatever. Those do different things. So those have different block ratings for percentage chance to get through a scan.
So I have a Mark IV and a Mark III. Is that right? Is that what I want to do?
That combo would work fine, but you could probably do both out of the X series.
Oh, okay.
So if you pulled the scan jammer off and just start flipping, and we can see.
Okay.
No, you didn't have to delete it. I was just saying pull it off to the side and then you could start flip.
Oh.
And you just flip.
Okay. Oh. So do the X.
So it's scan jammer and then so it says Mark IV.
Right.
There
I have a Mark
is
IV already. Should I do?
Man, I forget how. I think go hover over that and do the variation flip versus the other flip. There's two different kinds of flips.
Oh.
I think I set that up. Pretty sure I did.
I'm hitting Z. How would I do that? I thought it was.
It would have been Z. I don't know. Maybe I've missed that. I didn't think I did.
No, I'll do that one then.
Okay, but yeah, it's the Mark III Mark IV combo is the more important thing.
Yeah. I was gonna.
And if they're going to be exposed, I usually run the EM blaster or that graphic, like because there's that one that looks like an EM weapon.
Yeah, I like that one actually.
Just makes you look really armed up.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that is if you're ever installing a vanilla EM weapon, I forget the name of that one, but that is legitimately never install a different one. That is the only EM weapon you ever need. Has the highest range. Yes, it does the lowest damage, but EM damage is inconsequential at the end of the day. So just run that one. It's super cheap, super light. Like,
all right. Well, cool. So, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I think we managed it, guys. Right? We got the Everyman's Guide for Darkstar here. I'm pretty excited because I think this is going to be a helpful video to keep put on YouTube.
I'm gonna throw new people on the Darkstar Discord at this video and be like, "Hey, Sweet Pea did a thing," and watch that, and then ask your questions, and then they'll end up asking you, which will help me.
Perfect. There we go. So. And thank you to my audience. I have the best audience ever. Thank you so much for all giving folks subscriptions. That was very kind of you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
And this series, at first I was kind of begging people, hey, I have this idea. Well, I am literally booked the next 6 weeks with interviews from VCs. So I'm
Awesome.
so excited about this. I'm just really pleased to give creator.
Hold on, you can't just say that and walk on.
So,
you got to tell us your schedule. What are the next 6 weeks?
Next week. Okay, the next 6 weeks. I was actually gonna post it. So we have. Okay, we got Shadow Weaver. The next one we have is X2357.
Nice.
And then we have. Oh, I'm sorry. No. The next one is Karotic. And then we have Shadow Weaver. And then we have Matilda. And then we have Will NY4. And
Karotic that's a name I wasn't familiar with the mod author's name until recently.
The Useful
That's
series.
the Useful series, right? Useful Briggs and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
y'all should watch that one.
X2357. So I'm just I just can't believe it. I'm just so excited to give our VC people exposure and tell people about their mods. And what's so crazy about this is every single time I've learned. I mean, good night. I was using Darkstar from before Darkstar existed. I was using when Darkstar Astrodynamics came out, I was using that. So for me to like learn new stuff about the mod, is just such a neat opportunity for me to, be able to ask you questions and learn new stuff. So, I just think this is great. So, okay. Everyone have a great day. Let me see who we can pass this fantastic audience off to. See here.